Stanley, should we start?
Yes, sir. We will start, sir.
Yeah, okay. So, good morning, all. And Ms. Anthony, thank you very much for the invitation to share some of my views to the group of students. So, thank you very much for the invitation. And as a rule, may I request every one of you to put your microphones on mute so that we can have the session without any disturbance. And as I pause for taking the questions, I would request one of the moderator from the college to facilitate who is going to ask the question so that I'll be able to answer. Is that okay?
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, thank you very much. And as we start with the presentation, I just want to take a quick roll call. Maybe some 3 or 4 students can just express what they thought about when the title was given about the soft skills and interpersonal skills. When the title was given, what students expected out of this, because the intention that I wanted to discuss with you all today on this interpersonal skills related elements, because all the technical coaching and materials that are to be taught in different disciplines that is being taken care by your institution. But as you are all going to turn professionals, I thought this would be also an enabler for you all to get into the professional arena. So in that sense, if 3 or 4 students may please explain what they understood when the title was given, so that as we move along, we will see how effectively we are able to cover this topic and the expectations. Can I have 3 or 4 students to volunteer and explain what they understood about this title? And hello?
Yes, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir. This is Vice Principal, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, yes, Mr. Vice Principal. So, are there any students volunteering to give their opinion on what they thought about this title?
Yes, sir. We have to enable them. Then only they can answer.
No. When they saw the title, did they understand anything? What they thought about this title? I just want to listen from a couple of students, 2-3 students, if they can explain what they understand about interpersonal skills and things like that, right?
Yes, sir. They know it. They know it.
They know it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Students, basically, I don't want this session to be a monologue session. I'm not going to teach you or keep on telling about a one-way communication. As long as we are participating in the discussion, that would be beneficial for everyone. Even I'm also going to spend this 1 hour trying to learn what are the current day's expectations from students, because I've been a student 26 years ago. So have been interacting with a lot of students like you all since last 20 plus years. Since I turned professional 26 years ago, I think at least last 20 years I've been interacting with students of the then period. So it would be nice if you all participate so that the session is more interactive one and fruitful one. So today what we are going to talk about in the next 55 minutes or so is we are going to talk about the soft skills portion, which is going to talk about effective ways of communication, how to make the presentation, how to manage the time, what is called attitude, and how attitude will play a crucial role in your career as you're going to turn professional soon. And everyone knows about intelligent quotient. There is another component called EQ, which is called emotional quotient. We will touch upon that, what is emotional quotient and how to think about them. And as every individual will be aspiring to become a leader at some point. So we will touch upon this leadership portion in a broad level today. So how relationship will help becoming a leader, how to win the trust of people so that your leadership qualities are made up, and empathy. Empathy is something how we care for people, how to do delegation. Learn to say no is one topic that I would not dwell much because you're all too young and you need to attain some level of experience before getting to that position. But still, how to say no on some simple fundamental things is something that I will be explaining you all today. So soft skills is one of the key component for any individual to succeed in their professional career. This is very, very important tool. All the engineering skills, knowledge, technical skills that we acquire, it will help us in getting things done technically in a right way. However, the soft skill is something that will enable you to successfully communicate and interact with people and get the results out of various people. So this is one of the important, rather most important element as you turn professionals. So lot of focus should be given on soft skills as you move along in your professional career, which would include all the attributes that I spoke about in the previous slides. So effective communication, fearless public speaking, how to work in a team, what kind of decision-making abilities that you should grow, how to manage your time, because everyone has got only 24 hours. We will talk about it when the time management slide comes in. And stress management. Everyone goes through stress day in and day out in various aspects of life, how to manage that. And attitude we spoke about, how to develop a positive attitude and how to stay positive at all times during the professional career is something that we will talk about it as we move along, right? And professionalism, responsibility, conflict. See, this as such, when we talk about interpersonal skills and soft skills, this is again a vast topic, and it's not that we will be able to cover every element of it during this 1 hour presentation, but some of the most critical elements of interpersonal skills and soft skills is what we are going to talk about as I listed out in the previous slide. So what is the difference between the soft skill and hard skill? So hard skill is something, it is of technical ability that is being taught to you in your institution. Basically, you will be provided with all the tools, objects, all the information and knowledge, practical knowledge, theoretical knowledge, whatever that is required in your respective disciplines, that will allow you to technically interact with people and provide whatever the required technical solutions that are needed for your professional career. However, soft skill is a tool which is going to give you the necessary social skills, how you can successfully interact with people and produce the results that are desired to get you to the level where you are aspiring for. So this is one crucial element. Typically, these are all not part of the curriculum as such in our engineering curriculum, but these are something as one wishes to progress in their career and one wishes to take proper step in a right direction through their career. These are all very, very important attributes and aspects that one needs to focus. So this is what the difference between the soft skill and hard skill. Hard skill is extremely important for you to have the technical material, and soft skill is the tool that will be providing you a way in which you can successfully interact and meet the results. Is there any question? I take a pause here. Is there any question at this stage? Mr. Vice Principal, is there any questions from anyone? I see some hands being shown. Karthik T, Dharani Kumar withdrawn, Jayant Kumar, Naresh Kumar. Hello, am I audible? Hello? Dr. Janaki Raman, am I audible? I'm
Yes,
quite puzzled now.
no, sir. Just now your voice is not clear. Just now only it's enabled. Hello.
I was just taking a pause to take few questions, if at all any. I was completely puzzled that
Yes,
there
sir.
was an absolute silence.
Yeah, well, one person is asking, Miss Catherine,
Yeah.
could a person be successful with only hard skills?
Possibly yes, but it might take a longer duration.
Another question is from Kurla. What is meant by social skill?
That's what we are going to cover in the next few steps when we talk about effective communication, empathy, emotional quotient, attitude. All these parameters are compounding together called social skills. It is something like when we talk about we want to be treated in a way in life. So how far we are extending a similar treatment to others is also a social skill.
The another question is from Neeraj. Sir, how to develop
Yeah.
soft skill?
See, it is about it's not a kind of educational tool that is available for this, but it is something you can develop by way of interaction with people at different levels, different locations, different skill sets, and all walks of life. It is something that you will be earning over a period of time with all the experiences that you acquire by traveling to different locations and things like that.
That's all, sir. That question. You just proceed.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Yes.
Right. So as we move along, the first important element of the interpersonal skill, soft skill component is called communication. So communication, as we all know, is the basic fundamental tool that we all use day in and day out in our life for various things, right? Even when we are hungry, we communicate to mom or to anyone at home saying that I'm hungry, I need some food, right? So if that communication does not happen, we don't get food, right? So this is a fundamental tool for day-to-day life, which is very, very important and critical. Some of the basic fundamentals of communication is the first fundamental principle is listen to what others are expecting or asking. Listening is an art. Listening is very, very important element in communication. If you don't listen, you will end up communicating completely differently from what the expectations are. So listen first, understand the expectations, what exactly that you need to communicate, and when you are communicating, whether it is written or whether it is oral communication, you have to put simple words, simple sentences and statements so that the opposite party can easily understand what you are speaking. If you use perfect vocabulary that are there in dictionary, at times it may not be understood by every audience member who are listening to your conversation. So maximum possible extent where you have to analyze the audience to whom you are addressing or you are communicating with, understand their level of knowledge, and accordingly use the terminologies and statements to communicate what you want to communicate. And before going to the second stage of any communication streamline, please check with the participants whether they have understood what you have said before. Once you make them understand what you have said before, then you are going in the right direction, and then you can proceed to communicate. And even if one person is saying that I have not understood this, do not hesitate to repeat. So these are fundamental principles of communication. Whether it is written or oral communication, you have to be very, very clear and precise in what you want to communicate. Use simple words, use simple sentences, and make people understand. And if it is a one-to-one discussion or if it is in a group discussion, the parameters like eye-to-eye contact. When you meet a person on an eye-to-eye, it builds a lot of trust. If your eyes are wavering here and there, then people will think that you are not confident in what you are talking. Similarly, your body language. You should be, depending on the forum where you are in, you have to keep your shoulders straight. Don't let your shoulders drop off. Don't stand on one leg, put your hand in pockets and things like that. So you have to be, see, this is the next stage in your life. As you are getting into a professional arena, these are all basic things. When you are sitting and communicating, people would expect you to meet eye to eye and then sit straight up with your shoulders up and straight. Your head has to be kept straight. You don't let your head go down. And gestures is something, again, someone may not like when you are pointing fingers at somebody. So you have to be very, very cautious in the forum, and this is also something, a cultural alignment issue also will be there. So you go and meet with international people, the cultures are completely different. So you have to understand before going into any discussion with a person of different race and different country, you have to do some homework and understand what are the basic body language etiquettes that needs to be followed in those discussions. So you have to do some research. These are all little time consuming activities, but this is going to take you a long way in your professional career. So as I said, communicating with precision and clear, simple statements, seeking their understanding, and repeating if someone says, I have not understood this properly. So these are all some of the fundamental and basic elements of communication skills, and which is very, very effective in terms of producing superlative output for aspiring professionals and youngsters. The next one on the interpersonal skill component is called a presentation skill. So many of you would be preparing various presentations for your project related works, whatever the assignments that you are working on, too many things that you would be working out in terms of presentation. So again, having done the presentation, it again boils down to the communication skill, but where you have to plug in what level of element. So a presentation always starts, it is like a storytelling, right? What is the objective of the presentation, which is called the foreword, and then what is the structure that you are putting in terms of analyzing a presentation. So how you are taking the steps in order to achieve the desired results of that objective, and then a concluding note. So when you go through a presentation, again the sequencing will be like a storytelling, and then you will be using a lot of analytical and pictorial information into a presentation. Whatever the written scripts that you are putting in the presentation, please don't read them out, right? If you read them out, then everyone can read English, right? When we are making a presentation in English, everyone can read English. No point in us presenting it. So whatever statements that you are putting into the presentation slide, you are supposed to communicate that effectively rather than reading it out. There, in a presentation material, when you are ready, you have to probably set the expectation right with the audience, and then you have to, again, whatever that we want to communicate, we need to make sure that it is as per the expectation set out by the audience that are listening to us, and then we clarify, we seek their understanding, and then we move ahead, and when we want to conclude the presentation, we summarize what we have communicated, and we are able to achieve the desired results. So the summarizing and conclusion part of the presentation is very, very important as you get into the professional arena. So this is the period for the final year students. I would say that if you start applying yourself into some of these interpersonal skills at this stage, so probably that would set the tone for you, because most of you would be already placed through campus interviews, or some of you would be getting into a business house, or some of you might be getting into a job opportunity outside the campus as well. So whatever skills that you need to develop for getting your professional career on track right from the word go, this is very, very important that you must understand. So I take a pause here. If there are questions, I can take a few questions before I move to the time management, because that is an important aspect. Dr. Janaki Raman, are there any questions?
Sir, can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, I'm able to hear you.
Yeah. Give some examples for good interpersonal skills.
See, interpersonal skills is a combination of the aspects that we are talking about. Interpersonal skills is about the communication, about the analytical skills, about the strategical thinking, about emotional quotient. All these components put together are called interpersonal skills.
The other question is,
The effective communication. Yeah.
sir, if there is any communication skill we have to learn for the interview.
Sorry, I could not get the question.
If there any communication skill we have to learn for an interview.
No, interview preparation is something depending on the organization that people are attending for interview, but otherwise the communication skill remains the same for every aspect. Communication is on a couple of fundamental components, and that's what we just about explained in the previous skill about previous deck slide about the communication aspect. I'm sorry, actually, this gentleman Visukumar has pinged me. Just a minute, I'll just message him. Yeah, sorry, my apologies.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
The next question is, what is gestures and expectation?
Gestures.
Yes, sir. What is gestures and expectation?
Yeah, okay. See, gestures. Some of us have the habit of while communicating in an audience or when talking to the people. Some of us have this habit of waving our hands, showing thumbs up signs, showing a couple of fingers, putting our hand in our ears, always scratching our head like this, or putting our hands in our pockets, keeping our hands in our hip. So these are all gestures. These are all gestures. What happens is culturally, when we meet with Singaporeans, right? When we meet with Singaporeans, for instance, if we put our hands in our pocket and talk, they feel offended, right? And when we go on greet people from Europe, typically they expect us to shake hands. And if we go and do something different like a namaste, or when we shake hand, particularly the British people and Scottish people, they expect us when we greet them, it is not just about shaking hands. They expect us to meet eye to eye at that stage. So these are all some gestures that we need to understand. So typically this is something which is not available in any textbooks, unfortunately. But as we move along into the professional arena, when we meet people, we have to do some kind of research. Actually, you just today we have got all the information available on web for us, so we just go and understand what is the cultural practices that are there in a particular country. When we want to meet a Chinese, what we should do, what we should not do in terms of body language and gestures. These are all available as a tool for us, but it is not that you are going to be left alone in the first instance itself. You are going to always go with some seniors accompanying you. So the practice for achieving this skill is observe your seniors, discuss with them and understand the do's and don'ts, and then do some homework and research through the web engines that are available, and then practice them.
Yeah. The another question is, can a presentation be effective? Can a presentation be effective without PowerPoint presentation?
Possibly, I would say yes, but the corporate world that we are living in today would expect a bare minimum content for us to communicate effectively and showcase what the objectives and how the analysis had gone in and how it is getting concluded.
The another question is, how can I improve my interpersonal skills? That's the question from
Practice.
Himanshu. Yes. How can
practice
only? The next question is, what
sorry for the interruption, Mr. Shankar sir.
Yeah,
you,
yes,
can,
Mr. Shekhar.
you can get a question from Q&A tab. It is available in your screen.
Okay, right. I'm sorry. Actually, no. Since I was on a presentation screen,
Okay.
sorry.
All questions you can get it from there.
Oh, all right, right. Okay.
Yeah.
My apologies, actually. Sorry,
No
sorry
problem.
for correcting that. So, what interview question talk to face? I would say you have to first, yes, meeting eye to eye is very, very important. What matters more, the attitude or generosity for an employee? I don't get the question right. So, attitude is very, very important. Generosity for an employee is something that the organizations will look out for as per their corporate policies. Conflicts at your workplace, we will be addressing it sometime later below. Time management is what we are going to talk in the next slide. Presentation, I have answered that question. Oh my God. No character can irritate us when we go for an interview. So no worries about it. Actually, uh, that's not something that we generally see in when we go for a campus interview or for any interview for that matter. Too much aware of these skills sometimes weakens the presentation, I guess. Not really. Too much knowledge will always help in sharpening your skills, right? So yeah, I think that was the questions. So we move on to the next slides. So time is an important, or rather the most important element of the walk of our life, right? So everyone has got only 24 hours in our day. It's not that someone gets 2 hours more or someone gets 2 hours less. Not that case. So how effectively we are able to manage the time that is available with us will determine your success factor. So the basic and very, very important tools for managing the time is planning. Planning the day for yourself. What are the most important things that you want to do in that particular day? How you are going to conclude those activities within the time frame that you are setting for yourself. So the most important aspect of planning is you have to plan your diaries the previous day itself. What are all the things that you are going to do the next day, whether it is writing a piece of paper, writing a letter to somebody, making couple of phone calls here and there, all the thing you have to start practicing it from the very beginning days in your career. The to-do list, the task list must complete today, and which you are independently you will be able to accomplish. So those are the things. There is no dependency. What you can accomplish on that particular day, list them down in your must do list. And then wherever there is a dependency, that comes in the second priority. Where there is too many dependencies, that will come into your third or last priorities. So you have to plan your activities. There is a golden word is there, golden saying is there: if you fail to plan, you are planning to fail. So planning is extraordinarily critical for all of you as you start your career. Whenever you are assigned with a task, you have to know your strength. You should know what extent you will be able to determine. You can be determined in your efforts in order to complete the task. That is something that you have to understand your own self. And the dependencies that I spoke about, whatever the dependencies that you have got, how effectively you are able to communicate with them and get the information that are needed for you to complete your task. And then how much time that you need to do the work. When you start thinking about it, see, now you know that when you're going into an examination, you know that you've got a 3 hours window for completing the answering. So you set yourself, okay, the first 10 minutes I'm going to read through the question paper thoroughly and then mark which are all the answers that I'm comfortable. And then you say that, okay, some of these questions are having dilemma, so I will put them into the second bucket, and some of the questions that I don't know the answer, but still I will attempt. so that if there are any error in the question, I might get some courtesy marks just because I attended that question. So a structure that generally you are all taught, and you tend to plan your 3 hours duration of the examination in such a manner. Same way as you are turning to a professional, you have to plan for your entire day. So if you look at your lifespan, you just do a simple mathematical calculation. You can all draw down a piece of paper or an Excel table or whatsoever it is. Take your lifespan as average 70 years for an Indian, whatever is the lifespan that you've got. You set your goal, what exactly you want to see yourself after a period of, say, 25 years in profession. Where exactly you want to see yourself, what should be your bank balance, what should be your aspirations. So you list them all down, and then you put a cost attached to it, and then you put a time, what all time that you've got. Out of 70 years, the first 21, 22 years that goes out into your childhood and studies program and things like that. The rest of the time, you multiply that with 24 hours, 365 days for the rest of the life. And then you do an analysis how much time you are spending on sleeping, eating, bathing, travel, cinema, friends, partying, hospitalization. So all those things, if you deduct from that list, and then see how much effective time you have got to earn what you are aspiring. So you do a simple mathematics, it will be a surprising output for you. You have to work extraordinarily efficiently for at least about 14.5 to 15 hours a day. So you all can do the calculation. This is not rocket science or nanotechnology. You can simply take a piece of paper and start putting the numbers out there, and then see what level of efforts that you need to put in a particular day to achieve what you want to achieve at the age of 40, 45, 50. So in terms of wealth accumulation, in terms of health accumulation, in terms of family, in terms of corpus, whatever that you are setting yourself up for, you would be ending up putting that much of effort. So when you say that much of effort, again, it comes with a lot of determination, planning, and delivering successful results. So this is the most important component of the interpersonal skills. Other than communication, time management is the very most important component of interpersonal skills. Attitude, as we mentioned, this is something, it's not just, attitude is not just one word, it's a combination of various elements into your personal life, right? So you go with a kind of positive attitude, and you say that yes, we can, yes, I can, yes, together we can. So when you go with that kind of an approach and attitude, whenever there is a crunch situation, you will be able to easily swim through an ocean. But you just, oh my God, what will I get to do if I go like this? You can't even pedal a cycle. So this is what the huge impact that attitude can make. Very, 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 very critical factor. Whenever we are in a team, whenever we are working as a team in a construction project, or in an assembly plant, or in a production area, or in a power station, wherever we work as a team, each one of them will have to work shoulder to shoulder, understand one's strengths, one's weaknesses, and supplement each other's talent, and generally put up a positive vibration and attitude across the area of our work, so that we are able to succeed in our objectives. In the soft skills component, another important thing, we all know intelligence quotient, right? Everyone might have taken some online test or random test and things like that. There is something called emotional quotient. So this is something which typically very early stages of a professional career, this emotional quotient will start to come in. But as you progress with, say, about 5 years experience, 10 years experience kind of thing, the EQ component is going to be one of the most critical factor that will determine how rapidly you can grow or how you can become stagnant, because this involves a lot of understanding about dealing with the people working around you. So if you when you come to college today, you will find you have about 40 odd mates sitting alongside you. Some of them might have had breakfast, some of them might have come empty stomach, some of them might have come some 40 kilometers traveling. So each one individual will come with different set of emotions to a particular place to work together and achieve something. If a manager or a leader is going to treat everyone equal without understanding what sort of emotions that each one had carried to that particular position, then it becomes extremely difficult for people to stay focused, right? So obviously a guy junior will always think that I have struggled so hard to reach up to this place. This gentleman is not even asking me whether I have had breakfast or not. So these kinds of things, which is called playing with emotions. So this is extremely critical as you move along in your career, because once you cross that 3 years, 5 years mark in your career, and you become from an engineer, you become a manager. When as an engineer, you are responsible for doing your work, but in line with what the team is expecting you to do it. At the same time, as you progress in your career, you become a manager, you are expected to do 10% job, not 1% job. Matlab, you have to extract work from 10 different people and produce the results. So you have to be very, very clear in terms of understanding the emotional quotient, what kind of emotion that are flowing around within the team, how you need to communicate. When someone is emotionally depressed, if you go there and start greeting him with your smiley face, he might feel offended. And when someone is extremely happy and you go there and try to say some sorrow things, it also might backfire. So we have to be situational assessment is very, very important in that situation, and we have to be communicating very, very carefully, and we need to understand the emotions and what the current it is throwing up at that particular stage. So these are the few critical components of the soft skill portion that I wanted to talk about today. So at this stage, again, I will take a pause and see if there are any questions. Body language important, I just explained about it. How to speak effectively without fear. So I have got this from Dharani Tamil. How to speak effectively without fear. Why you should have fear, first of all. See, whether it is asking a question or whether it is communicating about what you know well, why you should fear? Fear factor is a self-destructing element, so you have to shut that one out and then communicate without fear and just move along. That's it. How to set our goal? Yeah, how to set our goal? It is your choice, right? I should not be dictating what you should set your goal. So setting your goal is something like, okay, 5 years down the line, I want to see myself in this position. I should be earning an annual income of so much. I should have a car. 10 years down the line, I should have a home. I should have a family. 15 years down the line, my kids should be studying in this kind of a school. I should be upgrading myself. I should be visiting so many countries. So whatever that you want to do it is your choice. There is no hard and fast rule. If someone says, I'm happy to have 3 meal a day and support 100 families around me, that is also a goal. If you think that serving 100 families surrounding your home area, if that is a goal that you are setting for yourself, most welcome. It's not that everything is about personal wealth or personal growth. Told time management is must, but many people don't follow the time management. So how to manage the time easily? Easily management is what I told. So you just put up your time chart, plan your activity, spend the time that you are committing for that activity properly, and then see the results for yourself. And when you start practicing the time tracker, you have to be genuine. You have to write. If you had gone out for a break, tea break, you have spent 30 minutes, you have to write that. If you had attended unwarranted phone calls in a day for 3 hours, you have to record it. Then you will be surprised to see for yourself. After 1 month, when you do an analysis, you will be surprised to see how much time that you had spent on unwarranted phone calls, just time pass phone calls, how many times that you are spending. You will be puzzled to see that, and it's an eye opener. See, I'm telling you all this, having practiced that effectively for more than 18 years now on the trot. So when you start with this planning activity, you will be spending about 15-20 minutes in a day, and then as you practice, as you move along, you'll be able to fill up that sheet within less than 3-4 minutes of time, and at the end of the month, when you analyze it for 15-20 minutes in a month, you will be surprised how much time you had spent with your friends for nothing. It is just a time pass talk, but you all gather together. See, sporting activity, moving around with friends, as long as they're all in a planned sequence and that is your stress buster, you should not leave that. But at the same time, you should not dedicate more time to those kinds of activities that will take you away from where your success path lies. So the best techniques for handling difference of opinion. Has anyone found that yet? I have my doubt, but whatever the techniques, that what is the difference of opinion, you have to have an understanding, and situational analysis on the best way to handle that particular point in time is what we need to implement and practice. There is no hard and fast rule here again. Is it necessary to use slang in general conversation? Slang is something that is inborn with us, right? I speak this English today, and that's what I know. I can't change my slang when I meet with an Australian or a Brit or a US. So whatever that you get is what you can speak. How to improve knowledge in interview skill? You rather improve your knowledge so that you can become an interviewer rather than giving an interview. So this interview skill is all about knowing what is that company is all about and for what position you are being looked for into that interview, and understanding the role and getting the technical knowledge out, and then showing a general communication skill is what is most important. How to stay motivated in this pandemic condition? Here we are, all of us are here. I see about 165, 180 students and five office college professionals. So this is one way of keeping us motivated. I always enjoy meeting students. Actually, I interact with almost like 1,000 students a year. So this year I was worried whether I'll be able to meet up or not. And here is an opportunity for me to motivate myself. I have seen 160 today, so I have to meet another 840 for this year. So motivation is an inherent capability. If we can't motivate ourselves, how we can motivate others? Self-motivation is very, very easy thing. You have to say that the day when we get up from the bed, it's a new day for us and we are alive. That's the most important motivation factor. When we are saying that we are alive, we know what we can do with the time that is available with us. So enjoy every moment of your life. That will keep you motivated. Each and every minute that you are living, you should enjoy it. That's a motivating factor. What kind of emotional will be carried? Question is incomplete. Karti Samati. What kind of emotional? I talked about few emotions. There are many more in that list. Few tips for prioritizing work in this pandemic situation. Catherine. Prioritizing work is not just about pandemic situation. Prioritizing work is a day-to-day situation. So we have to know our targets. So if I have committed today I've got 4 meetings from 2 o'clock till 6 o'clock. So means what I have done, I have put in my calendar. I know for sure that between 2 to 6, I'm not going to take any phone calls and I won't be able to write any emails. So means already at 8:30 in the morning, I have communicated to people that I'm going to be on this webinar for this 1.5 hours timeline. So I said no disturbance. Of course, there was a clash. That's why Visukumar called me. Otherwise, I would not have pinged him also in between. And all my other clients are aware that I'm not available for any discussion between 2 to 6 today. So the communication flow had already gone in. So my prioritization for today is that 4 hours schedule that I have committed. I know that if I sit there for the 4 hours, the job will get completed. So planning and implementation. When I'm on this session or when I'm on that meeting, if at all, even if my mom calls, I won't pick the phone. That's it. That's the discipline. When you are planning your activity, be with a plan, stay disciplined, and complete the task before taking on to the next task. Because at times what happens is if you stay focused, you're able to complete a job in 1 hour, and you take a couple of phone calls in between, the same job will yield you 3 hours time. So you are extra losing about 2 hours just because of the 2-minute phone call twice in between. Because every time when there is a pause, you are not starting it as it is. You just imagine driving on a highway, sitting in a car, driving at a speed of 100 kilometers an hour. And there is a speed breaker. You take a pause, and then to reach back that 100 kilometers per hour speed, it takes about 12 to 13 seconds. Right? It's an engine. But imagine a human brain. Human brain is not like an engine. It will not pick up that fast. So when there is a pause, you have finished almost like 20% of work, but you are not starting on the 21st percentage. You are going back to 18 to recap. And the multiple passes will fetch you a longer duration to complete the task. So that is what you need to plan and prioritize. And when you are on a task, don't get distracted for any reason. If question is asked, how can we analyze whether it is an emotional question or thinking with the brain question? These are all instantaneous elements. Basically, at the early stages of your career, you may not be exposed to these kinds of scenarios, but certainly these are all things that you will be able to catch up as you progress in your career. You will be able to make some instantaneous analysis, and you will be able to address these requirements. Interview atmosphere. Okay, I'll address that, I believe. Problem solving skills. Life is a problem. So we are all solving it every day. Right? How do you deal with distractions? I spoke about it at length. What kind of attitude? Positive attitude. How to deal with another people. You are doing day in and day out. So you have to analyze yourself, what you did the best and what you did not. So that will give you the best possible solutions instantly. Group discussion skills. So this is an interesting question from Xavier. So group discussion skill is again something that is to deal with your skill set improvement on knowing yourself, knowing your peers, and how you will be able to build trust within the team. So these are all things. So when you understand your own strength, you will be always revolving around that strength. But when you are sitting in a group and you know the strength of your peers sitting in the group, you have to encourage, you have to give them that window where they can express themselves in their areas of strength. And teamwork is all about building a strong team, using the effective skills of every individual involved in the team to achieve the desired objectives. So you should know when to ask your peer to say that, hey, look, this is something that I know you can do much better than me. Please do it. So that means you end up building a trust within the team, and that will yield you better results as you move along. Self-confidence development. Be confident. How to develop? In every aspects of life, you have to say that, yes, I can. Yes, I can confidently read about this, understand about this, communicate about this, perform this. Fundamental steps. Software skills. This is a technical question. You've got learned professors available with you, so they will be able to take you through this. Brain thinking capacity. All that we talked about, if you practice, it will come in. How do you deal with distractions and how do you organize your day? I spoke about it. My voice is not clear. Hopefully it should be clear now. How to focus on goal without any disturbance, that I shared as well, right? So thanks. I think quite a few questions have come in. So the next portion of my presentation, I will be very quick in this particular one, because this is something for professionals who have acquired 3-5 years kind of experience. So I will not dwell too much on this, but I will give you some insights to this. So to be a leader, you need to have the important skills, right? So you want to become an entrepreneur, that means you have to lead, and you have to have a vision. And when you are leading and somebody is following you, you have to share those visions with them, and you have to be building trust. As I said in the earlier scenario, trust building is again coming with being honest, inspiring people. You give delegation authority to people, and you say that yes, this is the way we have to perform this task to become successful in our career. So when you want to become a leader, these are all the basic qualities that you should practice and inherit. So as Mr. Ratan Tata used to say, right, when you want to walk fast, you walk alone. When you want to walk farther, you just work with a group of people. So you have to start building relationship, you have to start influencing people, you have to take people along with you in terms of achieving the leadership and success. We talked about this, building trust with the people. This is again one of the important leadership quality that is required. Empathy. So this is what I spoke in the opening remarks when I talked about it. So you are expecting someone to treat you in a particular way, and when you treat others on the same parameters, are you treating them the same level? Have that empathy. So very simple. When you are walking into a particular place, you expect the other person to greet you. When you are inside, 5 years down the line, when somebody is coming to meet you, are you going to greet him the same way that you expected 5 years ago? So principles, these are all fundamental principles that comes with the upbringing of us culturally and traditionally, whatever that we practice. So have that empathy always if you want to become a successful leader. Delegation is again, this is going to be coming up to you all probably 5 years down the line, 6 years down the line, when you get into a position where you will have a group of people working for you. So you just think about, if you want to be a manager, you are not supposed to do the other person's job. You are going to get the job done by people under you. So when you are an engineer, you need to do one person's job. When you are a manager, you have to get 10 engineers to work for you. So that's the fundamental thing. So when that level comes in, you should be looking at the skill set assessment of various people that are working in your team, and then what delegation that you need to do for the respective people working in your team. These are all aspects that you would be undergoing different levels of training, because as we speak, these are all components or words. Delegation is one word with which we can take probably a 16-hour session. So these are all so deep subjects. As I said, learning is a never-ending process. Day in and day out, we keep learning, and have that push to learn every day. That's very important. Saying no, this is again one of the important leadership quality, but you will be understanding more about this at least 5 years into your professional career. See, saying no, simple thing I can explain you. If someone calls me now, I will simply say I won't take your call. That's it. whatever importance it may be, because I have committed a 1 hour time to discussion on this particular topic. So during this time, if someone calls me, whatever importance it may be, I will say no. That's it. Period. So how to say no? It's an art. If you say no to everything, people will kick you out. So how to say no is an art, and there is a special program on teaching people how to say no. So this is one thing you will be learning over a period of time as you become professionals. And that's all from me as part of the presentation. I think I have maintained the timeline at 1 hour. And let me see, are there any more questions? Yeah, I think most of the questions I have answered. So Dr. Shekhar, thank you very much. And I sincerely appreciate all the participants' patience to hear me out. And thank you very much, all of you. And in case any more questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them. If not, over to you, Dr. Shekhar, for your closing remarks.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you very much. On behalf of all the students and faculty members, once again, I thank you very much for your wonderful time for the knowledge sharing with our students. And I thank all the participants. Thank you, sir. Thank you once again. Bye.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Janaki Raman. Thank you.